Shalom, giving all praise to Yahawashi, Qadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video Revelation chapter 6 Revisited. And I had did a breakdown some years ago on Revelation chapter 6 and others, I believe, from GMS. I can't tell you exactly who did it, who went through Revelation chapter 6, but I believe at least one of the apostles outside of myself, and maybe a couple of elders, and maybe a bishop, or maybe the state elders out there, but we had gone through Revelation chapter 6 some more than once. I know I did at least one time, and I have gone into I would go into precepts, and then I would jump in, go to Revelation 6 and go someplace else to prove one thing. The scriptures break down themselves. So somebody through a notification said, could you do, if you got time, could you do a breakdown on Revelation 6? So this was a couple of days ago. I wanted to do it, well, actually, I said I was going to do it Saturday at the camp, but I didn't. And then I said I was going to do it Sunday, so here we are Monday. So I said, let me go ahead and do it. And I went through it briefly. It's a short chapter, as you can see, 17 verses. So I went through it, and I already know it by heart. And I got almost recite it without even reading it, damn near. But I also went into the NLT, so... And the NLT gives you a little bit more insight, and sometimes the NLT is straight and forward, man, and other translations. So thanks to Vocab Malone for saying that's all you guys do is deal with the King James. You don't deal with us. Well, now, so we started doing that for you, and that benefited us. Like for example. When you go to Deuteronomy 22, you can start at 25, read down to 28. It goes into the grape doctrine. Now in the NLT, I believe the word, in other translations, the word grape is actually written in there. So sometimes those other translations outside of King James Version, it's straightforward and tells you exactly what it means. You don't got to mess around with it. And speaking of grape, somebody had dropped me a line from Sakari, basically saying, you guys are cowards. You don't want to deal with it straightforward and blase. I'll read. I was gonna do a video covering that. Let me see. Let me do. I'll let you look at some of it. Hear me about James. You many years ago said James went off and. Let me see. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Here he is right here. I don't know who he is, but he had put up this site, Azaria, back a couple of months ago, 2 months ago. So it says read part of it. Apostle was so sad that you guys are dealing with everything except the main point. The main point is the Bible. You have to find something, anything that you can call at or find anything that can stick to discredit. Let me see here. What Deacon, I guess he's talking about Deacon Hakar, has said. Deacon Hakar said a lot of things. Deacon Hakar said he did a breakdown on 2nd Ezra's chapter 11 and 2nd Ezra's chapter 12, and part of the breakdown, this was years ago, he said part of the breakdown is talking about the Byzantine Empire. I don't know all the details. That was years ago, so Video's not even up anymore. And I asked him a question, and I believe I asked him if that's the Byzantine Empire. I said, what does 2nd Ezra 12 and 28, what does that mean? And the guy never got back with me. And I asked him about 20 times. But, you know, I did videos. I did videos on it. I went into his, you know, his page, putting it. I said, could you please tell me what this, if the Byzantine Empire is mentioned, spoken about in 2nd Ezra 11, 2nd Ezra 12. I just pull out a random verse. I said, what does 2nd Ezra 12 verse 28 mean? What is that talking about? How does that relate to the Byzantine Empire? I could have brought out a bunch of different verses. Never got to me. You know, I put videos up with his name in it. Never got back to me. So, and that's what you guys are accusing us of, you know? Yeah, I did a video recently with let me see, chief priest, that's his title. Alazar, he had like it was like a debate going with somebody, some Christian. And what came up was Paul's writings, and Alazar said, well, we don't take Paul's writings as being authoritative, meaning Paul's writings is just his writings. That has nothing to do with the Most High. There's no message. He said all that in a few words. So we did the video on it because I was appalled that he would make a statement. Now, I can understand. You can say, well, Paul went off on this and he was a little off on that. And Peter went off. Paul had to correct him. But you said everything that, when you made that statement, everything that Paul wrote, anything that's written about an act concerning Paul, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Philippians, the Apostle Paul's, you know, epistles is pretty much, what is it, 80%? If you want to go percentage-wise, about 80% of the New Testament is Paul's writings. 70, no, it's 68. Okay, 70%, whatever. If you took out all of Paul's writings, you know, and you left in the rest of the New Testament, that would be a small book. What is it? They got the 4 Gospels, which is 4 books. You got James, you got Jude, which is 1 chapter. You got 1 Peter, 2 Peter, and Peter, by the way, praised the Apostle Paul a couple of times. It says, stand on your square face to face, like Ezekiel, and make your forehead hard against his, and talk with him man to man. Never talk to me man to man. When I asked him a question, I put videos up, he ignored me. We can go to the grape doctrine. The great Eleazar, chief high priest, whatever, Eleazar came down to the camp, and you know we were just going back. The video's out there. The video's out there if you look for it. I believe he put GMS. Sakari meets GMS. It's still out there, and I put, because he accused me of having sexual relations with my niece, because I made a statement. You know how you look at your niece and she's first of all, I never had no thoughts of getting with my niece. So he said that, yeah, Tahar, he got a thing for his niece. I just use that as an example, you know. And also the grape thing. The grape thing was big, and he came down, and I presented both of those arguments in his face about the grape thing and about the niece thing, saying I proved in the scriptures that if you have a niece, you can deal with your niece. That's not breaking the law. He said that's against the law. Go to the law. It's not in there. I'm not telling y'all to go out and get your nieces. I'm not saying that. You know, that's going to shake up. You know, you're dealing with family members. But I'll use what was that? Caleb's I think it was Atha now, was it? I got to go back to the story, but I believe it was Caleb's brother, and he said he would defeat the enemy. I hadn't read that story, and he said whoever defeats the Midianites or whatever, you can get my daughter. So it was his brother that said kill somebody. I haven't gone through the story. Somebody help me out. Haven't gone through the story. I'm botching it up. And he came up, he said, yeah, I'm ready to take your daughter. And it was his brother, and he had to give the daughter up. Because there's no law. He couldn't say, well, wait a minute. The law, there's no law against that. Right? So I presented both of those arguments to him, and he didn't want to deal with it. Go back and watch the video, right? So, you know, I found out with Sakari that, and they're good at what they're doing. I can say negative things about Sakari. I can say positive things about Sakari. They know them scriptures. They know them scriptures. They know them scriptures, and they do very well when they're out there on the street and do. But they go off. They go off. All right. And what proves that is, like I said, Deacon Akar didn't want to address my question, man. So come on, two can play that game. Stand on your queer face to face like Ezekiel. By the way, Ezekiel came to Israelites to wake them up, and the potential elect. All right, this is not a game of, well, I got you on this and I got you on that. If you're going off on the scriptures, it's up to you, me, you to correct that guy. Another thing, Priest Alazar said was we stand with the IUIC. Well, if you stand with IUIC, when are you going to rebuke the IUIC? They teaching that hell is an actual place. Do you teach that? And I'm gonna ask you, Hakar, you can talk about this. And we're going to be watching all your videos now. See? We're going to be watching all your videos, all right? Wherever you go off on, we're going to do videos on it, okay? So we're going to give IUIC a break. But at the same time, y'all have an opportunity to watch all our videos. If we go off, you get on us. And if you correct and you said, Tahar, you taught this, you were going off, I proved it, you know what I got to do? I got to say you right. I was corrected. You know, this is the stance, and the members of Sakari corrected me. But guess what? When we correct you, you got to be man enough to accept it. You lost that. Well, we didn't even have a debate on the great doctrine. But you didn't want to deal with the debate on the great doctrine. Even when Polite came up, Polite even went into the Hebrew, and he said, if you look these words up, it means this, that, and the other. And then you said, well, it also means something else. What's something else? Explain to something else. So you know what? This is healthy to us. This is healthy to us. We don't get mad. This is a healthy thing. You know, what is it saying? Iron still sharpens steel or whatever. If you going off, it's our duty to correct you. If we're going off, it's your duty to correct us. As you read this here, the brother, whoever the individual is, he said that you said that James went off. Right? It's right here. It's apostle. You stated that James went off. But you don't want to address what the deacon said. Did Paul go off as well? That's not what I never brought up the thing about Paul going off. I was dealing with Alazar and him saying none of the books and not so many words. Paul, I don't deal with Paul's writings. They got videos you guys quoting out of the one of the epistles of Paul. I was just watching a video that the elder, camp leader out of Baltimore, Karatazar Bar rather, and he put a video up of you talking to the brother that fell off out there in the West, and you hit Hebrews and you hit another scripture, and matter of fact, you know what? Let me go to that. Let me go to that. So here's all this stuff, leaders, GMS, and cowards, and Jesus, and the prophets, and they. Hey, and all you talk about is the chip, and we're going to continue to talk about the chip. Going to continue to talk about the chip. I'm not talking about the chip now, so anyway, where am I? So this is right here. Let me let you see it. You can probably take a screenshot of it. This is it. This is the whole statement right here. So they're calling us out, but you got to address. You know, before we address the James thing, me saying, and I did say that James went off. I did say that, and I explained myself. But before we deal with that, you got to deal with the grape doctrine, and you got to deal with the 2nd Ezra 11 and 2nd Ezra 12. And you can pretty much get it now because we done broke it down. I did a breakdown on yesterday, and the elder out of the UK, Yahanan, he did a video on 2nd Ezra 11 chapter. So show me in 2nd Ezra 11, 2nd Ezra 12 that's speaking about the Byzantine Empire. But where did I say I was going to go? So you got it. Take a screen picture of it, and we're gonna be watching all your videos, man. And I invite you to watch all our videos. If we're going off, it's up to you to correct us. Look, Tahar just went off this one. Let me show you what he said. He said blah blah blah. He went off on that. All right. Now which one is the one? Okay, let me do this. Because I don't know if you guys teach what Bishop Nathaniel teaches, because there's only one leader in IUIC. Then there's a bunch of followers. You never get on them. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe this is not it. Let me see. This may not be it. Bear with me for a minute. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute.
I asked these guys a question about Jesus. Notice how quickly they all got quiet. Look at their faces. They're just nothing but blank stares.
We might start blitzing your camps. We might have to start blitzing your camps.
These men are like deers caught in a.
You go, and that's good. You open to blitz us, because we're gonna blitz you right back. We're gonna watch every video that you guys go do if you're going off. Let me do this. I'm sorry. Okay, this might be it. Let me see. Oh boy. Okay. And by the way, so you can know, I should subscribe to some of your channels. That's the proof right there. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let me try this one.
I name and fear thee.
Maybe this is not it either. I might just have to explain it. Anyway, he was speaking about one of the brothers that fell off some years ago. He fell off a couple years ago when they were originally part of the camp out there in the West. And Deacon Hakar had quoted, I believe, too. He quoted Hebrews. Was that Hebrews 6, if I'm not mistaken? Hebrews 6. Okay, I want to go right to the point. Okay, I think this is the point. All right, for it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift. I believe he quoted this very scripture, and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit, and have tasted the good word of the Most High, and the powers of the world to come, which is the kingdom. If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing that they crucified to themselves the Son of Man. The Son of the Most High afresh, and put him to an open shame for the earth which drinketh in. So you got the point. In other words, is he saying he's saying there's no forgiveness for that brother because he fell out? So there's a punishment for him, right? I hope y'all not saying that there's a hell. I hope you're not following IUIC's doctrine. Give me a second. Give me a second. My alarm's going off. Had to turn that alarm off. So, my question is, this guy that fell off, he gonna be punished? Is he gonna burn in hell forever? Do you guys teach the hell doctrine? Anyway, let me go back. To Revelation chapter 6. And I'll pretty much breeze through it. 6 and 1, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. That's talking about Yahawashi. From what I understand, the Sakari teaches that, I don't know about the other camps, IUCPK and IUIC and other camps, but I do know, and I saw the video, this is maybe a couple years ago, that Sakari teaches that that's talking about the white man, Esau. Now, the first precept that should come to mind, and there's a couple of precepts, but the first precept that should come to mind is Revelation 19, start from the 10th verse on down, where it also says he's going to come on a white. Let me do that. Let me open up another. is here. Bear with me for a minute. I'm sorry, I went to the wrong. Favorites. Blue letter. Revelation 19. The coming of the Messiah, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame. So we know that it's talking about Yahawashi. And I saw, and behold, a white horse. And behold, a white horse. That's Yahawashi. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow and a killing weapon. A bow is the thing that you use to shoot the arrow. The modern day bow would be the missile silo. And the crown was, now it says many crowns in other places, was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So this is so John on the Isle of Patmos saw a vision of Yahawashi coming back, with the angels to take this place down. The second seal, or war. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red. What should come to your mind? A whole lot of precepts should come to your mind. Revelation 12, the great red dragon. That's the first precept that came to mind, Revelation 12. So this is Esau. Why is he red? Why is the dragon red? Why is the beast red? Why is the horse red? Because Esau is red. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, made the world a wilderness, Isaiah 14, and that they should kill one another through their civil wars, revolutionary wars, Spanish-American War, French-American War, Revolutionary War, Civil War. They're talking about now having another civil war. And there was given unto him a great sword. That sword was what? The blessing that Isaac gave Esau. He said, "You going do you not have one blessing?" He said, "Yeah, your blessing is this. You can get blessed, but you got to kill people to get your blessings. You got to force them." And the word "blessed," by the way, means to bow down to you. Floyd Mayweather is not blessed. Floyd Mayweather is rich, but he's not blessed. Ain't nobody bowing down to him, kissing his hand or his ring. The Pope is blessed. The Rawchaa are blessed. Because Jacob be a multi-billionaire and still hate Esau because they don't let him into any of his clubs. Why you gotta prove yourself to this devil, man? Do your own fucking thing. Let them fucking follow you. The nigga get a lot of money. You want to play golf with these crackers, man? Just fucking paint yourself white. Oh, speaking of that, for these fucking Hamites, which a lot of them is Jake. Let me see. Now check this out. And this is a fact. This is a white woman wins African beauty pageant. And this is, let me see, I'm sorry. Let me do this. I'm a little all over the place. So you got to get back to your roots. You got to be like the Africans. No, the Africans got their heads stuck up Esau's ass. I want to get the country. Let me see. I'm sorry. Do this. Okay, Zimbabwe, which I believe is Jake. Bishop Nathaniel could correct me. He's all throughout Africa. Zimbabwe is a country in Africa, I used to think. Anyway, let me do this. Okay, they had a Miss Universe. I guess. Well, no, it was to represent, to have a woman represent Zimbabwe in the Miss Universe. She'd be considered Miss Africa or Miss Zimbabwe or whatever. It's a beautiful dark-skinned woman, yeah. Majority are black. So they're showing the talent thing. And these are Israelites in my pet. Look at them big legs. And guess who wins? Miss Ann. With the blonde hair and the blue eyes. That's Miss Ann right there with the African garment on. And they're just amazed. Oh my goodness, she's so beautiful. And the winner is this tall Edomite. In fucking Africa, man. So that showed you that they wanted deep down, they want to be Edomites. They want to look like this. This is their standard of beauty. This is their, they wish to have that standard of beauty. They wish to be, hey, in Africa, skin bleaching is big in Africa. It's big in and down in the islands too. So we are messed up people. So let's come back over here. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And this is referring to right now. We're in between the third seal and the fourth seal, coming into the fifth seal. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Now, penny represents a day's wages. That's inflation or hyperinflation. Meaning you got to pay a day. Let's say you got a decent job. You're making $300 a day. Decent, 300, 200 a day. And maybe your wife is making $100 a day or whatever. It's going to cost, that whole day that you work, is going to cost that whole day of work to get you a measure of wheat. And wheat is dirt cheap. Barley is dirt cheap. So now let me read this in the NLT, because it gives you the answer in the NLT. Let me see something. Wait a minute. What the hell am I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong scripture. Not really. Let me do this. Come back here. Let me go. Okay, that's what happened. Back to the basics again. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, "A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay." So that's what it means by a penny, a day's pay. When you go further and you read this Christian scholars, they'll say a penny represented with a Roman soldier would make in a day. You can compare it to your police. Depending on where you become a police officer, you know, you got the cities and then you got the outer, the suburbs and stuff, the nice areas. You know, the police make a lot more than inside of the cities. And they're dealing with less crime, so they might make $500 a day. So it's going to get so bad that it may cost you $500 to get a loaf of bread. We're not in that yet. We're coming into that time. We're coming into that time. You're going to have inflation, hyperinflation. Then you're going to have deflation, which prices are going to go up so high, then they're going to have to go back down low because nobody's buying anything. See, all the rents are going up so high that people are actually becoming home. They've been living on the earth, living in houses or apartments for years, and they still got a job. The wife got a job, the kid got jobs or whatever, and they got to move out the damn house. So when enough people are out in the street, homeless, those landlords, they're not making any money. So they got to drop the prices. So that's hyperinflation, inflation and deflation. And let me see something. Barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the oil, the olive oil, and the wine. Now that's twofold. Olive oil and wine is stuff that you eat with your bread, but the olive and the wine represents the truth. You know, the 10 virgins, 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. And the wine makes references to this truth. So, in other words, in this situation, the truth is not going to die. So let me come on back to King James. The fourth seal, death. And this right here is, you know, you also go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16. Time of Jacob's trouble. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on it was Death, and hell followed with him. Hell and death is the same thing. Matter of fact, let me look that up in the Greek. I believe death is Thanos, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Thanatos. You got the superhero, anti-hero Thanos. Thanatos. Let me hear them say it.
Strong's G 2288. Thanatos. Thanatos.
It means the death of the body. So now it says, and hell. Hell is just a pit. So Hades. It means right, it means the grave. It really means the grave or death. There's no such place as a spiritual hell that you burn in forever. Not even for a minute. There's no place underground that you put in hell and you're still alive being tormented. And if anything, Sakari should be getting on IUIC for teaching the hell doctrine, unless y'all teach it. So let's come on back. Okay, so the name said on it was him, was death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, Now, the fourth part of the earth, which we knew is talking about over here, the western hemisphere, which you got Canada, America, Central America, and South America. That's the fourth part of the earth. We knew that. But recently, and I'm going to give credit to Sakari, they were the ones that found a book and a map that was written, I forget the guy's name, Kabar knows his name by heart, that he wrote, I believe it was the 1500s. I'm not going to go all into it right now, but I went into it some time ago, where he called the West, the Western Hemisphere, he called it I believe he called it the fourth part of the world. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. So credit goes to Sakari. See, we ain't always talking bad about y'all. Only when y'all go off. So we give credit. We give credit. If Alex Jones made a statement, I'll quote what he said, and I'll say Alex Jones said that. Okay? The fourth part of the world. There we go. The fourth part of the world. Give me a second. Okay. And so when Toby Lester heard about the map, he set out on a journey to tell the story of how the map was created and eventually came to the Library of Congress. Oh, if you go to the Library of Congress, when they go into the history of mankind, it only goes back about 5,000 plus years, which confirms that the scriptures is right. You know, billion years old or 100 million years old. When Adam was on the scene going on 7,000 years. So it says, Library of Congress, the result is the fourth part of the world, the race to the ends of the earth. Isn't that mentioned in the scriptures? To the ends of the earth. It's in Acts, also in the Old Testament, to the ends of the earth. On the epic story of the map that gave America its name. So America, or the Americas, is known as the fourth part of the world. World meaning, Gia, which is earth, or Oikomeni, which is the inhabited earth. So Sakari gets credit for that. And if they're saying the right thing, we're gonna praise them. Hey, if Bishop Nate says Bishop Nate says a lot of good things. He says a lot of good things, man. And we're listening to him. He hitting points. But then what did he say? He said Gog. He said that's talking about Gog and Magog. And first of all, there's no Gog and Magog. Let me explain something to you. Gog is Gog, Magog. Magog means the land of Gog. Actually, Magog, Gog, meaning from Gog. It means from God, like Benny from the Bronx. If you said from the Bronx, you would say Bronx. From or of. Actually, from. So when you got Gog and you got Magog. No, Gog, Magog is the same thing. Gog, or in the Hebrew, Gawag. Magawag, meaning the land of Magog, which is Russia. So he called himself going into 2nd Ezra 12th chapter, and I did the video on it. So you can watch the video. And he said the two feathers or the two heads. It was one head and the two feathers underneath. He said that's Gog and Magog. First of all, Gog and Magog is the same thing. It's Gog, Magog. Gog from the land of Gog. And I looked and behold, and by the way, Russia, as I said that, Russia is two Hebrew words which means chief prince. Look it up. It says, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of earth. So does this talking about the whole planet Earth? No, it's talking about the Americas, mainly the U.S. So you should immediately think about 2nd Ezra 15 and 2nd Ezra 16, because all hell is going to come to this place over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger, famine, and with death. People are going to die of sicknesses and with the beasts of the earth. So we're coming to this time. The fifth seal. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High. Go back to the Apostle Paul, Peter, the apostles, the martyrs, and for the testimony which they held. What's the testimony? The whole book. The Apostle Paul in his letters were making testimonies. The epistles were testimonies, which are part of the scriptures. Anything that the Apostle Paul said, now sometimes he gave his opinion on things, meaning you can, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it says you can choose to be married, or it's better that you not be married. So some of them said, well, I'm burning, so I got to get married. Others don't. I don't have to. I can be like you, Paul. So that was an opinion, meaning you had an option. Everything that the Apostle Paul said in the scriptures become the scriptures. So everything that the Apostle Paul said, all the letters, the epistles are authoritative. Alizar said they're not authoritative. Deacon Akar said, well, some of them are and some of them ain't. What is it? How can two walk together except they be agreed? Let there be no schisms among you. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 11. That's a schism. You got a group, and when you have them unity camps, that's a schism right there. You got like a Wi-Fi. They teach that the MOTB is not the MOTB is not the C-hip. Y'all teach that the MOTB is a C-hip, and y'all got the information from us, GMS. Now you can say, well, no, we knew it. Okay, good. Okay, I'll say, tell me that you had it before you met us, and I'll say I'm sorry. So we almost finished. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord? All the spirits that go up in the spiritual world that died in the truth, as soon as they go up to the Most High, they complain, Lord, when you going to take these devils out? Holy and true, doeth thou not judge and avenge our blood? Whose blood? Israelites' blood, starting with the elect, on them that dwell on the earth, which is Esau. And white robes were given unto every one of them. And what comes to your mind, what should come to mind, Revelation 7 verse 9. And it was said unto them that they should rest for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So all of us was killed, and we came back, killed and came back, went into slavery, dealt with the curses, didn't know the name of Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi. The sixth seal, terror. 12th verse. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. That's the missiles. And the sun became black as sackcloth, because the missiles are going to cover the sun. It's going to be bright, and then all of a sudden everything's going to go black. Then they're going to see missiles. Then they're going to scream. Then they're going to pee on themselves. They're going to shit on themselves. They're going to throw up. They're going to faint. Some people are going to stroke out. Some people are going to catch heart attacks. And of here, and the moon became as blood. They call it a blood moon. Because the light from the sun is going to be blocked off. The light from the moon is going to be blocked off when the missiles cover the skies of the U.S. And the stars of heaven, represent the warheads onto the earth, as even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So there's I don't know. Well, actually, there's 200 million warheads, and the heavens departed as a scroll. Isaiah 34, mushroom cloud. There was a movie called Oppenheimer. I still haven't seen it. Everybody said it's a great movie. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So the earth, as we know, is going to look different. Remember, the earth was a Pangea, meaning pan, meaning all earth. Meaning it was one big piece of land. Then you had the waters. What broke it up was the Great Flood. And you see what's happening in California? They're going to get hit with 2 days, I believe it's 2 days of rain. That's equivalent to 6 months of rain. So that's a curse from the Most High. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, slave man, any kingdom that you go into, you're going to have slaves. You're going to have bondmen. You have bondmen and bondwomen. You're going to have slave men and slave women. So how can our kingdom on earth be any different? All you other nations are going into captivity. Number one on the list are you Edomites. That's why vocab said, well, the Edomites are done away with. Tell me when the Herodians was spoken about after 7 AD. They won the battle. They pushed out the Israelites. They didn't die off. They pushed out the Israelites. That's when the history stopped. Our history, because we were pushed out of the land. The last records that were written was written by Josephus. So that's why we don't know what happened to the Edomites. Because we didn't have the records. We were pushed out from the Edomites, man. And every free man hid himself in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. And said, and the dens and the rocks and the mountains were talking about these, all these rich people are getting these bunkers now. But all that's going, if you're in America, the missiles, the warheads they're going to break right through that and destroy you. That's going to be your tomb. That's going to be your burial place. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, Daniel chapter 7 verse 9 on down, and from the wrath of the Lamb, Yahawashi, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Nobody. There's not going to be one survivor in this place of Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next one.